Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Colin and Greg Live right here on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. My name is Colin Moriarty. It's Nick Scarpino.
Hello.
Kevin Quill off screen.
Hey.
Whew. See that game last night?
No.
You didn't watch it?
No.
It's an incredible game.
I was sleeping.
It was incredible. You were sleeping.
Yeah.
It's a game. Kickoff was like 3:30 in the afternoon.
It was a hard, solid nap. It was Paula's birthday, and
I didn't know that.
I took her.
Happy belated birthday. She won't ever hear or see this, but
Yeah, probably not. We did a whole bunch of stuff, and I was exhausted by 3:30, and I fell asleep.
what did you do?
Well, this whole weekend we've been running around, hanging out with her parents. Her parents flew in, and we walked across the bridge, and there was a lot of walking, like a lot of walking. I enjoyed
Did you think
it.
about jumping off the bridge?
No. We talked a lot about it though. 1,600 people is the estimate of.
You could probably jump off the bridge and live, right?
Some people have done it. They don't live happy lives. Vertebrae.
Yeah.
Just
Water's
break.
funny like that, man.
Yeah.
It looks much more,
Tension.
let's say, pliable than it really is.
Tension.
It's nothing compared to sand.
No.
Sure. Yeah.
Gets
Sand's a
everywhere.
little more difficult.
Of course.
It gets everywhere. What do I have in my pocket? Oh, my headphones.
So,
Man, it'd be awesome if you had sand.
you're like, what? Just a handful of sand. Look at that. Sorry, I was answering a couple emails from our accountant, as it is, as you know, tax season.
Oh God, are we broke?
No, we're not broke, thankfully. But
Far from it.
But tax season, it's funny when our accountant is. Our accountants are really, really cool people, by the way. They're really nice people. But they get a little flustered around this time of the year, as one can understand.
Yeah,
Our business taxes have to be done earlier than everything else. You have to get them done pretty fast. And, you know, they do some personal tax. It doesn't matter, but either way, I'm getting a barrage of emails from. Haven't heard one word from them.
Yeah.
6 months.
Right. Now
Suddenly 5 urgent emails. What's going on with this? How did this? How do we classify this?
I need my K1 so that I can figure out how much the government's going to rob me this year.
I'm trying to get those.
I
out, of
also
course.
need my K1s, Nick.
I need my K1.
It's
as well.
embarrassing you're even getting a K1. How did we even let this happen that you actually own a piece of this business? Oh, wait, that was part of the agreement of hiring you. Never mind.
There you go.
The K1, I paid more in taxes last year.
Yeah.
Between income, state and federal, FICA, and my business taxes than I made gross my first year at IGN.
Yeah, that's not even
So
accounting.
fuck you, IRS.
That's not even counting for what the actual business pays in taxes.
I know,
either,
I know.
Which you guys don't even want to know what we pay in taxes.
I want to reiterate that for people that think I complain about taxes too much. I paid more in taxes last year net than I made gross at a professional job out of college last year. That's insane. That's fucking insane.
Privilege.
It's insane.
We're privileged
Oh, that's quite the privilege.
So I came home last night. I had to run some errands yesterday. As you know, I'm not a huge fan of the Super Bowl, right? But I did want to watch what I think is the most important part of the Super Bowl, which is the halftime show.
Lady Gaga.
Right? Now, last year, if I'm not mistaken, it was Katy Perry, right? Was that the year before? I think it was last year, right? When Katy Perry rode in on a giant gold lion.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the Sharks.
Yeah.
Was that last year?
I think that was the Sharks last year. That might have been 2 years ago, now that I'm thinking about it. Either way, I thought that's as good as it can get. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. And I could just hear Tim Gettys. I could feel him eating his heart out from Australia. That she got to fucking jump in on a wire from the top of the dome.
The GIFs, by the way, of it are awesome.
They're awesome.
Of her just being like,
She just and then she hits the tower that they must have stole from Mad Max 2. Like whatever the next Mad Max is, they stole the set from that because it was just flaming towers of awesomeness. And then she jumped off and proceeded to do what was arguably one of the best halftime shows ever. And then capped off at the end with her not only dropping the mic, but jumping again off the stage and catching a diamond-studded football on the way out.
That was awesome.
Give me a fucking break. Give me a break. That's how you crush it.
and no political message, really, other than like the inherent equality messages that are in her songs.
Yeah. I tweeted that. Did you see my tweet last night? Where it was like, people,
No, I was too busy KOing people.
Oh, I understand. No, it was a great show. I'm not a huge fan of football, and Kevin was like, "Oh, was it a good game?" I'm like, arguably one of the best Super Bowls.
That might be considered the best Super Bowl of all
Ever.
time. At least, maybe if not that, certainly the greatest Super Bowl comeback of all time. You have to understand, the Patriots were down 28-3, and they won, which is like an incredible.
That's insane.
I think that the biggest deficit ever overcome in Super Bowl history was 10.
It's wild.
'Cause they really tamped
it almost looks like they were, like someone came to Brady and was like, "We'll give you an extra $10 million if you make this a good game." You know what I mean? Like tank it a little bit and then come back. Can you do that? And he's like, sure, I can do that because for whatever happened, their offense fucking turned on in that for third quarter.
Yeah.
Like that second half, they just went.
You make adjustments at the half.
Let's go.
And the Falcons just didn't look right.
And the Falcons'
also.
defense just crumbled.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, I watched it. I just couldn't believe what happened before my eyes. But it was a great game. By the way, people were saying, oh, for the tax conversation, you must be making a lot of money. We own an S corporation. So we pay a little tax information for you in case you ever want to open a business because you have some different options. You have your LLCs and you have all this kind of stuff. What ends up happening when you own an S corporation is that you basically pay taxes on the amount of money the company has in the bank equivalent to the amount of the company you own. So in other words, I owe all my own income tax based on what I make, but I also owe 20% of the company's taxes.
Correct.
That's why I'm paying so much in tax.
Yeah.
So just to
there are benefits for that as well, but yes, we do. You have to you got to pay a lot of taxes on what the company makes. Unfortunately, it's called a pass-through company.
So that's really pleasant.
It's
Can't wait to see how much they completely fucking rob for me this year. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Kevin, you're gonna get robbed too. I can't wait.
Yeah, it'll be fine. That's how it works.
Yeah, I mean you pay taxes. That's what happens.
Everyone's done this.
It happens.
People can figure out ways away.
No one can get away from that. Maybe that is the one good thing Trump will do for us is he'll simplify that a little bit and put a little more scrap in our pockets. But we'll see what happens.
He will. He's gonna lower all the taxes, which is great. I do respect and appreciate.
Could have done it fucking this year would have been nice, but can't get it done.
I also, as we were talking before the show, Kevin and Nick, I wanted to give a shout out to that Sean Spicer, Melissa McCarthy Saturday Night Live skit because it is one of the funniest things I've ever seen Saturday Night Live do. It was so on the nose. It was fucking awesome. And so I just wanted to give him a shout. You guys got to go watch that in case you haven't seen it. Have you not seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh my!
Oh, dude, it's so
dude,
good.
it is so
good.
I want to watch it so bad. Is there a way we can stop recording and then start again to avoid the copyright strike?
Why don't we just do it at the end and then you can clip it out?
I mean, none of those options seem good. Why don't you guys watch it the air, and we watch you guys react to it?
It's 8 minutes long. That's not fun. That's not good television.
Yeah, it is 8 minutes long. It's really good. I was saying, yeah, it is.
Oh, you're gonna think it's so funny, especially if you saw the Sean Spicer presser and know what he looks like and all of his little quirks.
Oh, I know Sean Spicer. Yeah,
it's really, 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 really well done, and I recommend everyone. It's like it was. I can't believe how on the nose it was. Like usually it's a little silly and it's funny, but whatever. Like the Bannon thing was really funny this past weekend, but that was.
Who's playing?
I can't believe they didn't open the show.
Who's playing Steve Bannon? Because
no, it's a guy dressed as Death, like the Grim Reaper.
Awesome.
And that was the cold open.
That makes me super excited.
But I can't believe, I mean, that was a good cold open, but they should have had the Sean Spicer thing as the cold open. I don't even know what I guess they maybe didn't realize. I'm sure we have not seen the last of Melissa McCarthy now as Sean Spicer.
She was Sean Spicer.
I want to watch it so bad.
Oh my God, that's so good. Oh, fuck, she's so funny. Damn it, now I want to watch it. Should we just stop doing the show and go watch it?
Yeah, I mean, if you want.
No, it's
I really think that we could just stop recording. Doesn't he record it?
Yeah, but then he has to put them together. He has to edit it, and then he has to export them. It's a pain. It's a whole rigmarole.
I'm going to be honest with you.
I mean, it's his
In the
time,
last
not
few
ours.
months, I've come to appreciate the trials and tribulations of editing much more than I used to. That's going to take him 2 seconds to do.
Yeah, but then it takes like 40 minutes for it to export.
He's a little baby. Everyone's being a little baby.
That's the problem. That we're
NBC Universal being a little baby with the copyright strikes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
What are you going to do?
Anyway, I hope everyone out there is well and that you had a good weekend. A good weekend. I don't know what have good weekend means. It's not really a proper sentence. Where'd you just go?
I had to go wash my hands.
Probably went to get some snacks.
I had to wash my hands because they have rusty water on them, and I don't like the smell. Had rusty water.
You gotta lick them.
No, that's a bad idea. And yeah, while I was up, I got some fruit snacks. So I'm hungry. I need to start making breakfast again.
I'm hungry as fuck right now, dude.
Yeah? What do you want to do about that?
I mean, this is all I have to do today. Oh, I didn't change it on the schedule. I have to finish the script, so we'll record it
I
tomorrow.
had a breakfast quiche.
Oh, did
So I'm going to go after this and write.
Did you say you did change the schedule?
I said I don't think I did.
No, you did, because it's
Oh,
on
I
there
did?
tomorrow, yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I'm smarter than I thought,
You might be.
Sure.
Or you might not
which
be.
is incredible because I think really highly of myself.
I think pretty highly of you.
You
do? Okay, here's my question for you then. I don't know if you want to get into this or not. You said a little bit you wanted to. But there's two things where I love being friends with you. Like, it's two moments in time when I love being friends with you. Big sporting events, presidential elections. Those are when I'm on Twitter, I follow two people pretty closely. Like, I'll vacillate rather, back and forth between your Twitter page and Mike Drucker's because he's hilarious.
Yeah, Mike Drucker's funny, dude.
Last night,
Way too funny.
You were getting into it with some people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are we wanting to talk about that or no?
We can talk about it. Sure. See, last night was righteous, okay?
Okay.
And let it be clear to the audience that I take no pleasure in aiming my cannons at people. I really don't. Like, I don't really want to. I really don't want to. I could pick way more fight. I mean, I like aiming them sometimes. It's like the Theodore Roosevelt. You know, you carry a big stick, right?
Sure. Walk softly, but carry a big stick.
So I take no pleasure. I really don't. I mean, but I have honor and I have pride. And there comes a time when you have to defend yourself and defend your honor, right? And your pride. And this particular gentleman that got K the fuck O'd on Twitter last night, by any objective measure, has been talking shit to me and about me for years. And people have pointed it out to me. And, you know, I've seen it myself organically. And this guy just has a huge chip on his shoulder for no reason. I don't think I've even ever said a word to this dude. He worked with us a little bit when we were at IGN, and then his name's Bob Mackey. And he got laid off when One Up kind of went down, you know, and that's sad. And I wouldn't wish that on anyone. No, you probably don't. And
just type his name in.
And
Bob
so
Mackey's.
I eventually, after a while, I just fought back. You know, like eventually, you're just going to defame someone to such an extent that you're going to get hit back.
Yeah.
And what he showed last night was that he's just a complete fucking coward, is what he is. Just a fucking coward. Okay.
Damn.
So
Okay.
I just want to be really clear about that. It's easy to talk shit about someone for years. Just talk about them, talk about their name, insinuate them, insinuate that they're corrupt, insinuate that they're an idiot, that they're an asshole, make fun of things that they wrote when they were kids, do all these kinds of things, call into question my entire character because of my politics. Okay? And I fought back. And then he shied away like a coward would. Okay? So I want to be really clear about that. You have every right to stick up for yourself and to protect yourself and your honor and the honor of those around you, which is exactly what Greg did for me yesterday as well. So, I don't take pleasure in doing that, but then he wanted to ramp it back up again today. So I just knocked him the fuck out on Twitter again. And that's basically the end of that. Until I'm sure he wants to talk more shit again.
Are you worried that...
Fucking coward.
Are you worried that by doing this, you are in fact having the stress end effect happen where, I don't know if I'm using that term correctly, but where you're calling more attention to him, he's getting more followers from this?
I don't care if he gets more followers or attention or people disagree with me. I've dealt with this for years. I didn't do anything to him. I don't even know him. I don't talk to him. I don't mention him. I didn't mention him to anyone. And that's not going to be acceptable to me. You have every right. I am actually, a lot of people talk a lot of shit about me. And that's fine. But, making fun of things I wrote, I used to write these things on the top of my FAQs, when I was 15 or 16 years old, saying like, basically an ode to 9/11, which he even makes fun of, or whatever. And I'm like, yo, just as a newsflash, like my dad is in the FDNY, he was there, and we lost a lot of people that day that we know and love. I know that might be funny to you, but that's not funny to me. It might be funny to you to insinuate that I'm an asshole or that I'm a far right or alt right or whatever you want to call me, but that's my character you're talking about, and I'm gonna fucking protect myself about that.
No, sorry, I was listening to you, but then I also was looking at this picture that you tweeted of Hillary Clinton's face on.
That's a me. I mean, that's.
I don't know who this person is. Who from the Falcons is this?
That's Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan,
the quarterback.
The quarterback from the Falcons.
That's an amazing. Okay. I mean, that's the best.
What? No, you were over the moon on this last night. Why is this so funny to you?
Because it's just they lost at the last second, like all the statistics showed. Because there's barometers.
Oh,
and metrics.
got it. Okay, that's where the joke is.
Yeah,
got it. I got it. Just that damn look on her face, that the last bit of humanity just died. God, I love Hillary Clinton.
So, I really don't take pleasure in opening up on people like that. But I'm going to continue to protect myself from this particular individual because I didn't do anything. And people out there being like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, what did I do? The fuck did I do? Other than finally say like, no, I'm going to take a stand.
I'm going to tell you what you didn't do. Okay. And I don't think I'm not saying you were in the right, nor were you in the wrong here. But I'm going to give you something here. I don't know how the fuck do you get just this? Oh, this is annoying. Why is this threaded like this? I don't understand it.
So you know what?
Joke is dead.
By the way, for all the people out there that, just leave them alone. Just don't tweet them. It's fine. I didn't ask you to do any of that. But you know, I am sick of being, you know, I understand I put myself out there, I put my politics and all that kind of stuff out there, and everyone has every right to disagree with what I say and to do it in a respectful way. But don't take fucking pot shots at me, and especially don't continue to talk shit about me after I'm like, well, if you wanna have a debate or something, come debate. We can donate to charity, we can live stream it. I mean, that was how I started the conversation. Then he just ignored me and kept shit talking me, so then it got escalated.
Yeah,
That's called cowardice. Because I was the one willing to sit at a table across from him, put $2,000 on the line of my own money toward charity of his choice, should he have won the debate, that we would have an impartial moderator, that we could take questions from the audience, the audience can vote with it however we want to do it. But he doesn't want to do that because it's easier to shit talk someone behind a keyboard. That's what's easier.
Kevin.
Remember that when you talk about people online, that there's another person on the other end, and eventually maybe they're going to get upset about the things you say to them. Especially when you do it over and over again. And I wasn't the only one that noticed this, by the way. My phone was blowing up. I got emails, tweets, DMs from publishers, PR people, developers, being like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So,
bad luck.
You know, whatever.
Here's the deal. Here's the final word on this. Kevin, can you bring up that tweet that I just, that GIF that I just put at the top?
Which one
there.
is it?
Bottom right there, Lady Gaga mic drop.
Hold on. I'm gonna wait for it to.
Go ahead. This is Colin, ready? This is you right now. This is you in my eyes right now. Every time you stand up for yourself, drop the mic, jump off the stage, catch football fireworks. It was fucking perfect. Do you understand that? So few things in life are this perfect, Kevin.
Yep.
I don't even like Lady Gaga. I find her weird and strange. She's like that one girl you hook up with at a party. You're like, I'm not sure how I feel about it. It was sexy, but it was all over the place. You know what I mean, Kevin? She was so talented.
So that kind of shit really bothers me. I don't like the drive-by shit talking, and I don't like the subtweeting and all these things people do. Because here's the thing about it, Nick, is that you're never gonna find me shit talking anyone in this industry publicly, like on Twitter. I would never identify or alienate someone like that. I would never bring I would never do that. Unless you're a politician or like a famous sports figure, you're really not gonna see me like going after you.
Someone who's openly, looking for criticism on that level.
So you know what?
President.
So just like I'm gonna let it go. Hopefully he lets it go. Leave him alone. He doesn't deserve to be ridiculed or taunted or anything like that. I don't want people to do that. I don't want people to do that to me either.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
But
let these two men settle this like men, over Twitter, and not in person. Okay, that's how we settle shit these days. And remember this. Remember always, Kevin, give me the one. No matter how hard your life gets, no matter how bad today is for you, we will always have that gif of Lady Gaga jumping off the roof and then floating in like this. Why was she doing this? Because she fucking wanted to. Because it was awesome. Gaga for president 2020. Hail Colin.
Thank you. Now let's get into the news.
Okay.
First piece of news comes from our friend Ryan Clements.
Yeah.
It's about Drawn to Death, which is David Jaffe's new PlayStation 4 exclusive. Release date, April 4th. So now we know, it comes out April 4th. We've been waiting for this one for a long time. We first had seen it and played it, remember, at PSX in 2014. So it's been in development, it's been gestating for some time.
I think I played that at E3 in like 2015.
You might have. Yeah. It's been circulating around. You guys may indeed remember that it was originally free to play, and then they moved away from the free to play model.
Yeah, I did play this. I think I gave this one of my faces. It's fun.
No, I don't.
Did I?
Not one of your faces.
I thought I did. I can't remember yesterday, so I don't really know. I love Jaffe though. Have we had Jaffe on the show yet?
We had him on PS I Love You at PSX.
God bless him. He's a saint. Saint. Mouth like a sailor though.
Just making things up.
No, he really curses a lot.
Does he?
Yeah, he really does.
Are you sure?
He's a man after my own heart. Had him on multiple shows. Multiple shows.
I think right now you just inquired if we ever had him on.
No, I had him on Up at Noon a bunch of times.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. I'm very well acquainted with David Jaffe. He was also a judge on The Next Game Boss when I executive produced that for the Start channel. You might remember that, but chances are you don't. Start. Go subscribe right now. youtube.com/start.
So there's that piece of news. Another big piece of news has to do with Psychonauts 2, which people have been waiting for years and years for. Owen Escott over at Polygon writes, Starbreeze to publish Psychonauts 2. So basically, Starbreeze is the developer best known for Payday, which you guys might remember. It's a pretty popular multiplayer shooter about robbing a bank. They also did that Syndicate game for EA a long time ago. But anyway, the story says Psychonauts 2 as a publisher, Starbreeze Studios known for the Payday franchise and most recently Dead by Daylight. In a news release announcing the terms of the deal, Starbreeze said it will invest $8 million into Psychonauts 2 marketing and distribution. In exchange, it will get 85% of Psychonauts 2 revenue until those costs are recouped, and then 60% of the revenue after that. Double Fine Productions, the maker of Psychonauts 2, retain all rights to the intellectual property related to the game and franchise. This game, the original Psychonauts, of course, came out in 2005. And there was original backing of $3.8 million on Fig, as the story notes, for Psychonauts 2. Fig, of course, is the crowdfunding thing that I had always wanted, the crowdfunding platform that I always wanted, where people invest bigger pieces of money for equity on the game. So that's how it's all going down there.
It's a cool concept. I like that.
I agree.
Smart. 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 I'm going to launch Muxy.
Should we read some tips? Do you want to read them? You want me to read
Sure,
them?
we can. Let me hold on one sec. I just realized probably have some. Let me hide the subs. Show the tips. I will read them. I will contribute to this show for once, and not just as a pretty face. You know what I mean? Good Sir Matt says, Dear Colin, just to let you know that your meme takeover of the IGN Anime Club has been a success. They're an essential part of the club now.
Great. I heard
Michaels
this.
and Matthew Evan are to blame. Much love.
I heard this a long time ago. I'm not part of the Facebook group, and I'm glad you guys are using them.
I didn't even know you liked anime.
I don't.
Bio97 says, this is for Colin. I forgo a coffee today to show my support. Never let what sent you on the internet keep you down, and always fight the good fight.
Thanks. Like I said, I don't believe in bullying. I'm not going to bully another person, but I will stand up for myself, and I will stand up for my principles, my honor, my pride, and I will not be categorized and not be shit talked ambiguously by a person for years, and then when I attack, they're the victim. No, sorry. Doesn't work that way. Sorry about that.
Koy NC says, keep being awesome, Colin. We love you. If you could pick one game for the next 3 months, which game would you pick? I'm torn between Mass Effect, South Park, and Horizon.
Horizon, probably?
Yeah.
Maybe Mass Effect. Depends on how much you're trying to stretch it out. I imagine Horizon can't be much longer than 20 or 25 hours, but I could be wrong. I have no inside information on that at all.
Yeah,
you assume Mass Effect will probably be longer than that, maybe 40? Again, that's
you can't
totally
take 3 months of South Park. That's too much South Park. You got to have South Park in like small doses. You know what I mean? I feel like you're right. Pistol_play says, paying my birthday tax. Thanks for letting me watch Kinda Funny Live 2 on my birthday. Colin, you're the man.
Thank you.
Mario Not Bros says, hey gents, real story. I went to a very music-oriented school. I was a percussionist in a huge orchestra. At my first ever concert, I was tasked with playing the bongos. I wish I was kidding. Love. Mario Not Bros.
Bongos are awesome to play. A little percussion.
Bongos are amazing if you can do it, if you can pull it off. A lot of people can't, especially Kevin. Doesn't want to do it. Walking Dog and Stephen Hawkins says, 5. Colin. 5 Super Bowl victories. Tom fucking Brady.
It's incredible.
Bill fucking Belichick.
It's very incredible. I mean, the bigger thing about the Patriots, I mean, just objectively speaking, 7 Super Bowl appearances, that duo. I mean, that's incredible. And 5 Super Bowl wins is nuts. I mean, a player of any caliber, even a great caliber, is going to want 1 Super Bowl. I mean, it's hard to win a Super Bowl. It's a single eliminations tournament, you know? You have to get in first. You know, it's hard. So I mean, the numbers are just stacked against you. The fact that they're able to do that, and that incredible comeback last night. I mean, you can't help but respect that. I mean, that is going into the locker room with 28-3. I'm like, this game is.
I thought it was over. I thought they were like, let's just go home. Let's cash the check.
The Falcons really fucked up by not running the ball too, though. There was a Ringer article about that this morning about
they just kept throwing.
Yeah, like, and it's just the clock. They gave them all this time. Like when you throw in as an incomplete pass, the clock stops. If you keep running the ball and stay in bounds, the clock keeps going.
That was a little weird, like, because you would assume coming out of halftime, they would have just literally started milking that clock for 2 quarters.
Oh yeah, that's what I would have done.
They did not.
They have a great back. Like, I mean, not the best backfield. I mean, but the Falcons have the most potent offense in the league. You know, so it is strange to me. Yeah.
Elliot says, hi guys, after last week's Theresa May video, here's a favorite moment from David Cameron's time as our Prime Minister. He gives us a video there. Mariana Bros also says, also yesterday the Patriots made me very angry, just a little happy for Aaron. And some certain other things made me angry as well. As all I'll say is, I'll always be on your side, Colin.
Thank you. I know a lot. By the way, I was seeing all of your supportive tweets or whatever. I do not endorse so I don't want you sending harassing or hateful tweets to anyone. Please don't do that.
Let's just.
I mean, I appreciate that you guys want to protect me. I don't need to protect me, but I am going to also, you know, again, protect myself and defend myself. And frankly, I felt good about it. Like it felt good that, you know, sometimes when you get bullied and pushed in a corner over and over again, you fight back, and that's the way it goes. That's the natural order.
If they hit movie starring Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey, Dirty Dancing, taught us anything is that nobody puts baby in a corner. Nobody puts baby in a corner. You got to get up there, you got to dance, and you got to do the move. You know what I mean? You got to do the lift. And last night, my friend, you did the lift.
Thank you.
And everyone saw it. Dante's Disco Inferno says, Colin, are we close to figures like you getting punched for your dissenting opinion? No joke. With many now cheering speech being met with what the fuck? Now cheering speech being met with violence, I'm worried this is a dangerously slippery slope.
I am very scared of the violent rhetoric that's being thrown around on both sides. But like, I'll give you an example. I was talking about this with someone. I went to dinner last week. That guy, Richard Spencer, I think his name is, who's a neo-Nazi.
Yeah.
They punched him in the face at one of the inauguration or whatever like that, and people celebrated that. And I'm like, that's fine. I mean, you're gonna punch a Nazi in the face, you know. But we should be afraid that it's come to that, and we should be afraid to endorse that, even on our biggest enemies or even on the people that have the craziest ideals, because if you start at that low and that simple point, it can be spread, and then you start calling all of your enemies Nazis. He is a Nazi, but what if that next guy gets punched and he's like, he's a Nazi, but the guy's like, I'm not a Nazi. Like, I'm not.
I just disagree with you.
Yeah, like Richard Spencer's ideas are terrible, so you should be able to dissect them in the marketplace of ideas,
right?
Instead of punching them in the face. And when I see that kind of shit, I cringe. I saw someone tweet out, Nazis deserve a platform, and it was a picture of gallows. And I'm like, so you want to like hang people? Like that's what you want to do? You want to hang them? I just don't advocate violence like that. No. If you think that that's the solution, then more power to you. But I think that that's a dangerous road and a slippery slope. And I'm glad to see a lot of people calling that out, because I really don't think that that's appropriate. Richard Spencer's a moron. Like, you should be able to dissect him without punching him in the face. Punching him in the face might make your echo chamber laugh, but that actually might have gotten a few more eyeballs on him. Who's that guy?
Right. Oh.
Who's that guy you thought you should just punch in the face?
It makes a martyr out of him. You don't want to do that. You don't want to ever push people toward martyrdom. Colin's right. No violence. The free and open exchange of ideas.
So I don't support those far right ideas. I mean, I think that a lot of those people are nuts. But they have the right to hold those ideas, and they don't have, because the thing I was asking someone, I'm like, so you can punch him in the face on the street. Can you go into his house? Like, since he's a Nazi, are you allowed to, since you can infringe on his First Amendment rights, are you allowed to infringe on his Fourth Amendment rights? Can you hold him without a warrant?
Right.
Can you go into his house and just kind of just toss his house? I mean, could you kill him? I mean, these are honest questions. I mean,
right.
You start down that slippery slope, so I think it's just strange. You can't squash a person's First Amendment rights because they don't disagree with you by punching them in the face. I think that person should be arrested for assault.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, Richard Spencer's doing a fine job of destroying himself. Just let him. You know. Also, there's literally like 400 people in the neo-Nazi party in the United States. Why are we? It's the same thing with the KKK. There's like 5,000 people in it. There are 325 million people in the United States. It's like, why do you even give them any energy?
I don't know.
They barely represent themselves. But I don't condone that kind of political violence, and I don't think it's, because my favorite thing is that people are being like, well, the revolutionaries were violent. I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, like you really, and we talked about this a bit on Game Over Greggy show last week, where I'm like, you just don't know what you're talking about. They weren't just immediately violent out of nowhere for nothing. You know, like,
yep.
It's like a 15-year thing that happened before they got violent. So I would say this: let the marketplace of ideas squash the bad ideas, propagate and lift up the good ideas. And keep your hands to yourself, whether or not you would disagree with someone. And if you really do support what happened to that guy, then ask yourself how far you're willing to go. I mean, could you literally just go? I mean, you could punch him in the face, so could you kill him and get away with it? Could you rob him? Could you destroy his house? Could you take his property? It's just strange. That's strange.
I know. I'm right there with you. A couple more tips, and then we'll do another news story, Colin. Hot Pies Bastard says, decided to take a sick day today. Wasn't feeling well after last night. Waited 18 years to return to the Super Bowl for this performance. At the very least, I can watch you guys live. Love the show. Sorry your heart is broken. It sucks. They put up a good fight. That's all I can say for you. Waldo Morales says, shout out to my city, Houston, motherfucking Texas, for hosting one of the best Super Bowls ever. Love you guys, and Colin. Amber is the color of your energy.
Oh, 311 shout out. Thank you.
And last tip for right now is TJ Coates says, Colin, loving Colin was right. Really great stuff. Keep it up. Included in this clip, included is a clip for this funny clip section. Captain, if you can throw that in there.
Yep,
And we'll do
ready.
Bentley 454 says, Colin, have you ever listened to Birds of Tokyo? They are an Aussie alt-rock band that I really enjoy. Here's a link to a song for the new album.
I haven't heard of them. I'll keep it in mind.
We'll keep
No
it in
songs
mind.
though.
All right, let's go on to the next
We're not
story.
fucking around with we got. In case you guys missed it at the beginning of the show, we were talking about how we got hit with a pretty dinged twice with copyright strikes on Friday, which is bad for us on YouTube. But if we go forward, with that particular video unedited, which is why it had to be taken down. So we apologize for getting that up late, Kevin.
They're copyright claims.
Copyright claims.
Yeah.
Whatever, I don't know. Whatever. I'm saying that
Strikes are really bad though. You get
right.
3
Well, that I
strikes.
know, but I'm saying that that is the reason why I know that some people were complaining that that's why the video was late. So.
Great, that's it.
Oh,
Let's
that's
go.
all?
Yeah, I mean, we have more tips, but we can go into them later.
All right, next story. This one comes from GameSpot. Eddie writes, looks like Zelda Breath of the Wild development is finished. After years of development and multiple delays, it looks like Nintendo has finally finished its highly anticipated RPG, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I'm not sure I'd call it an RPG. Below is an image of Breath of the Wild's wrap party, which took place at a hotel near Nintendo's headquarters in Kyoto, Japan on February 3rd, according to Eurogamer. The image comes from one of the attendees, Monolith Soft developer Yasuki Hone. Monolith, of course, responsible for Xenoblade. As Game Informer explains, Monolith Soft contributed to Breath of the Wild, so it's not a surprise for the people that they would attend. So there it is. Basically, why I'm telling you this, Zelda's gold, it seems like. So we'll be submitted to Nintendo's certification process, and we'll be playing that on March 3rd, less than a month from now, on a Wii U and Nintendo Switch, if you are getting a Switch as well. And I'm sure that everyone that's getting a Switch will buy it. I can't imagine that the ratio to purchasing is more than 1-to-1, but we'll see. Over at GameSpot, Eddie also writes Square Enix revenue and profit rise. Square Enix had a very good 9-month period ending December 31st, 2016. Revenue was $1.7 billion, which was up $400 million during the same period a year ago. So they're doing very well, and they basically talk about Final Fantasy 15, I think, as really being the big one. Final Fantasy 15 has shipped 6 million copies. So there's that as well.
All right.
And then the final news story, I think, is most for you, Nick.
Oh.
Mark Hughes over at Forbes writes, Ben Affleck quits as the Batman movie director. So the thing here that I saw that I thought was interesting was that if you scroll down, yeah, right there, it says several names are floating around already as being in contention for the director's chair. Did you see this?
No, I did not yet.
Matt Reeves, Gavin O'Connor, Denis Villeneuve,
Denny, yeah.
Matt Ross, and perennial favorite George Miller. So, some ideas.
George Miller would be interesting. Denny would be amazing. I don't know Matt. I'm not familiar with Matt Ross or Gavin O'Connor. I have to look them up. But he goes on to say, I hope Catherine Bigelow and Peter Berg wind up on that list. Well, Peter Berg and Catherine Bigelow are both very, very capable directors as well. I would love to see Catherine Bigelow direct a Batman movie. She's a hell of a director, but, you know, if you're familiar with her work, she did Hurt Locker and Point Break. God bless her.
So I'm sure that there'll be no shortage of talent to want to take the helm.
Absolutely not. This is an awesome project. Have all the money in the world to make a Batman movie with Ben Affleck. It's going to be cool. I don't know. We'll see. Is that it for news stories?
That's it for news.
Sure. Oh, wow. Look at that. We got through it fast today. Let's take a few more tips then, if that's the case. Alan Grayson says, Nick, I know you're making jokes about Colin's recent Twitter beef, but shouldn't you stick up for him? Not trying to start shit, but bystanding is never the answer when your friend is getting attacked. I'll stick up for Colin when I feel like Colin needs me to stick up for Colin. Which is to say, I don't feel like Colin ever really needs anyone to stick up for Colin. But I apologize if I should have stuck up for you last time.
No, I don't need anyone to stick up for me. And I'm sorry if I got a little more heated at the beginning of the episode. No, I don't like cowardice. And I don't like confronting someone with a constructive solution and then they just continue to... Because I was dead serious. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you can come to the studio. I was going to, if you respond, I'd be like, we'll send for a car. We'll pay for your dinner. Mm-hmm. I'll even put $500 down on your charity whether you win or lose.
Right.
You know? But it never even got that far because he just ignored me and kept talking shit and then talked about how, you know, it's funny that he's ignoring me talking. You know, I know it seems like not a big deal to a lot of people out there, but it's a big deal to me. It hurts. Like, we're people with feelings. Yeah. And when you read that kind of stuff that, like, is just taken out of context, people just slinging shit at you don't even know. You never even talk to, really. It's just strange to me. And I don't, you know, see, that's the thing is everyone's like, well, I put my opinions out there. I don't attack people, you know, like individual people. I don't call individual people out, you know? So I appreciate, you know, Greg stuck up for me and I appreciate that, but yeah, you're right. I don't need any, and again, I don't want you guys talking shit to him or saying anything to him. Let's just let it go.
Yeah, my thing is, well, I mean, I don't fully, if I don't fully understand what's going on, if I'm just haphazardly kind of looking in and saying that, I'm not going to jump in. That's just me. I don't like to jump in on things that I'm not educated on. And I also assume if you and Greg are on top of it, you guys have it covered. Captain Geach 36 says, just bought a PS4 Pro yesterday. In anticipation of Nihon and Horizon, Colin, more Nihon impressions? ?
No, not too many. I played very little this weekend, actually. I started fucking around with Sniper Elite 4 a bit. I can't talk about it yet. But I was pretty busy. I wasn't feeling great this weekend. And then Super Bowl was on and all this, and I was writing Colin was right and all that. So, yeah, not too many other impressions other than what I've shared so far. I think Neo is going to be a lot of fun for people. I think it's extremely hard. I mean, it is laughably hard. It is way harder than Dark Souls.
Really?
And Bloodborne. Way harder. Way harder.
That's bold.
And, but it is arcadey. So it is like Ninja Gaiden instead of like this, because Dark Souls didn't turn me on because it's slow and plodding. And, like, I don't like that kind of gameplay. Like, I appreciate that people like that very methodical gameplay. I don't. I like fast, arcadey, smooth gameplay.
Right.
But the game is hard, man. Like, I'm at there's like the first stage of this. I think it was in the alpha of the beta. This like village is like waterside village. You go to a boat to fight the boss there. Just kicking my ass. It's the first boss. I just can't beat him. I'm like, this is so hard. And then I'm reading about it. I'm like, am I just bad at the game? Because there's some games like we talk about.
Yeah, you gotta figure it out. You gotta get into it.
I'm not very good at this. And I'm reading them, and people are like, this is comically hard.
Yeah.
Like, it is hard. And, like, there's no room for error. In Dark Souls, they give you little room for error. I feel like in Neo, there's no room for error. You make a mistake, you're done. You know, like...
Jesus.
Yeah.
Draconian.
But I think by the way, this game's gonna be big.
Christian's Twitch said, has given us a tip and said, well, actually, I think that's below our threshold for tips, but I will read this anyway. Remember, we only read tips $5 and above. Hey, Nong Man, first tip is what he said. Interesting. Red Rising 95 says, Colin, you should bring in people like Bob Guy, and devs who have disappointed, lied to us. Have a live studio audience and run it like you're Morton Downey Jr.
I love Morton Downey Jr.
Morton
Downey Jr. was the man. Great documentary about him. Fuck, what is it called? I can't remember. Just look up Morton Downey Jr. documentary. I think it's on Netflix. Go watch. It's so good. He's such an interesting man. Such a product of the late 80s. Yeah.
NYJ Superman says, hey guys, here's another fun clip for the fun clip segment. I think you'll love. Kevin, let's check that out. Reddit Rising gave us another tip to finish that sentence off, which was, Nick, have you seen Sing Street? It's great. I have recommended it. It's awesome. I believe it's on Netflix still. Diseased Gecko says, hey guys, just got back from lunch with my boss's boss who ordered everything including the drinks. So now I'm businessman drunk watching the Kind of Funny morning show, and all I want is some Nick Betty Ann jokes. Well, listen, I'm not going to make any jokes about Betty Ann. First of all, I don't make jokes about Betty Ann. I don't make any jokes about Betty Ann. I'm very serious when it comes to Betty Ann. Okay. Secondly, Colin had a rough weekend. We're not gonna do anything that would exacerbate the situation. Okay. But I will say this: say hi to your mother for me next time you talk to her. Say hi to your mother. Say hi to her, but give her like a wink too. You know what I mean? If you can't, if you're on FaceTime with her, Kevin, give her the one. Hey, Betty Ann. That wasn't sleazy enough. Kevin, give me the one again.
We're still on the one.
Hi.
There it is.
There it is. Great. Xalb says, hey, Colin, my Leafs play your Isles tonight. Do you follow any Canadian teams at all? Any options on Austin Matthews? Love you.
No, I don't follow any. I mean, I follow all the teams, but
on Austin Matthews.
But I'm an Islanders fan. I don't root for anyone. I root for the Islanders, and then I root against a series of teams.
Got it.
I root against the Capitals. I root against the Penguins, and I root against the Rangers primarily. Now, if they're playing each other, there's an order of operations. The Rangers, I always root against the Rangers no matter what.
Right. Naturally, of course.
The next up there it used to be the Penguins, but now it's more the Capitals, and then the Penguins underneath that as they kind of shrink in relevance a little bit, and then down we go from there. But no, I don't follow. I have a soft spot for the Edmonton Oilers because the Islanders and the Oilers have some history from the mid-'80s, as everyone knows. The Islanders won 4 Stanley Cups in a row. Mm-hmm. In the '80s, the 4th Stanley Cup they won, they played the Oilers. Wayne Gretzky was a rookie, and they beat the Oilers, and they won a 4th Stanley Cup. And then in the 5th Stanley Cup, the Islanders were about to win a 5th Stanley Cup in a row, and the Oilers beat them. And so there's a lot of history there. We have a lot of well, I don't hate them. I think there's a lot of respect there. I mean, what a team, man. Mark Messier was on that team. Grant Fuhr. I mean, there's a fucking phenomenal Oilers team. Anyway, so I have a soft spot for the let's say the Western Province teams like Calgary and Edmonton.
Got it. DJ Kento has given us a very generous tip. Thank you very much for that, sir. And he says, lunch is on me, boys, celebrating my up-and-coming shoulder surgery. I'll finally be able to play video games without my shoulder feeling like it's on fire or my hand hurting. Good luck with that. Here's wishing for a very speedy recovery for you. I know those kinds of surgeries can be a pain in the ass. Make sure you ice and do whatever the doctor tells you other than that. And don't get addicted to pain meds. My advice for today. TJ Cuss is giving us another tip. Loving Colin was right. Also, did you ever get around to finishing Doom? Also, a clip for fun clip section. He gives a lot of things going on there.
No, I didn't get around to finishing Doom. I intended to, but I just don't know if it's in the cards. Someone was asking me yesterday if I should on NeoGAF if I would play Ori and the Blind Forest, and I was like, I did actually play it. Remember when we played it at Microsoft event a long time ago before it came out, but my backlog is so big. Like I have to start letting things go. I mean, like, there's no way I'm gonna beat Neo. You know, like there like other things. Like there's too many games. It's hard to keep up.
Pretty sure my computer just borked on me. I have to restart this.
Okay, I'll
you want to fire back up?
What was the last
we're
one?
at Harry Pickens 7.
Okay, we didn't read that one?
We did not read that one.
If you get a chance, this clip of the Speaker of the House of Commons today saying why he thinks Trump should not be allowed to speak in Parliament. I'll have to check that out. I don't know if that's necessarily appropriate for. Did you get that, Kevin?
It's right there.
Okay, we can watch that if you do. You want to watch it now or
No.
Save it.
I open them up. We save it for fun clips.
Okay. Spittle gave us a tip, my buddy, and says, missed the beginning, but wanted to say, keep doing you, Colin. Can't stand hypocrites like that. Rewatch the Colin Was Right episode in question. You're a champion of free speech and artistic expression in that piece. I know. Thank you. I'm not saying I know it's great. I'm saying I know that I champion those things. I believe in free speech. I believe that even hateful, terrible people on the right have every right to say the terrible shit they want to say, because that is what free speech is. You don't have to protect polite speech or speech that's acceptable or accepted. The idea of protecting free speech is to protect unpopular speech, and that goes for all sides. I do not condone trying to shut people down or shutting their arguments down. I don't condone physical violence against those people. I condone war of words, you know? Like, and ideas. Good ideas win. Bad ideas lose. Think about why like totalitarian dictatorships or bad places like communist Russia or Nazi Germany or North Korea now. Think about why they have to lie to their people and keep them insulated and not let them leave the country. They can't use the internet. They can't watch TV. Why do you think that is? Because like one idea from somewhere else is going to change everything for them. So they keep them away from ideas. And the only way you keep people from violence can be used as a tool to keep people away from ideas. I just don't condone it. Certainly not at this point. Is there a place for violence in politics or in like revolutionary politics? Yes, there absolutely is. But guys, we are so far away from even like having to talk about that. It's insane that anyone would condone that. And I find it super scary, like I said earlier, that people just condone violence like this. And I'm seeing it, frankly, a lot on the left, and I don't expect that from the left. The left is supposed to be the champions of nonviolence and the champions of free speech. That's what made so ironic about what happened in Berkeley. Berkeley was ground zero for the free speech movement. Ground zero, literally started there. Now they're burning shit down and going crazy to stop a man from speaking? I just can't condone it.
Back up and running.
Okay.
Spidle says, missed the beginning, but wanted to say, keep doing you, Colin. Can't stand hypocrites like that. Rewatch the Colin Was Right episode in question. You're a champion of free speech and artistic expression.
Oh yeah, we
in
did.
In that piece. Sorry, we read that already. Did we read Real Ragdeck 13? Clip for the fun clip
Whatever
section.
the next one was is the one.
Another clip for the fun clip section. River City Chris Ransom says, my blue band that Kevin suggested I name ZZ Top 2 is playing... it's playing left field New York City this weekend. If any 21 plus best friends want to come, then drinks are on me. You can go to chrisransommusic.com for details. Also, Colin, you're awesome.
Thank you.
ZZ Top 2, Kevin. That's what you said he should name his band.
It's a fucking solid name.
It's a great name, but I feel like maybe you might be opening yourself up for some problems later down the road with a name like ZZ Top 2. If I'm not mistaken. I don't know a lot about music, Colin,
right? But they might have a problem. They might take some issue with
a little bit of an issue
ZZ
with that.
Top 2, but you know,
unless you spell the 2 T-O-O, which is not spelled here. If it's ZZ Top T-O-O, then like what are they gonna say? Like we're also ZZ Top. I'm gonna call tips there. By the way, no more tips, people. NPM Hammond has given us one of the last tips. Says, hey, Colin and Nick. Colin, I watched the 30 for 30 episode Big Shot this past weekend.
How about the Islanders?
Such a fascinating story. Cannot believe Spano came that close to ownership.
It's unbelievable. That is an unbelievable story. Have you ever? Did you see that one?
My pads. No, I've not.
So what?
Maybe I have actually.
It's a really great story. Not only because it's about the Islanders. It's just a great story. The Islanders were purchased in the mid '90s for like a year and a half or something like that by this guy named John Spano, who had no money and was basically had this Ponzi scheme going like over and over again for like a full hockey season, where he got really close for the Ponzi scheme coming to fruition, where he would actually get the money on the back end and be able to actually become rich and buy the team outright or whatever, but he like got fucked at the last minute. And it's like this whole amazing, you gotta watch it. For people that haven't seen it, I think it's on Netflix if you have a Netflix subscription.
I think I have actually.
The picture is of a guy pushing a puck and the pucks are like going around in dominoes and like coming back to hit him or whatever. Really cool. And it's by the guy from Entourage, Kevin Conley, who's like a huge Islanders fan. And he gave an interview about it saying like how the first cut was like way too long and people were like getting mad at him, being like, he was like setting up the whole history of the Islanders like for like a half an hour. And, like, you gotta cut this. Like
it's not about the Islanders, it's about this one thing.
Yeah,
that's what happens. Ben Pagoni says, hey guys, just wanted to thank you, Colin, for speaking up for us moderates in a time of extremes. I find myself trusting you more than anyone else at this point, and I hope others follow suit. And he gave a little smiley face. So that means you make him happy.
Thank you.
And the last tip for today is General_Lee_accepted says, only sad thing about the Falcons' demise is that once again, Matt Ryan is now a meme for what his defense couldn't have done. Hashtag Colin and Nick. Hashtag this could have been Romney's second term.
It could have been. It could have been. Do I need to tweet out a picture of Mitt Romney again to remind all of you guys? Yep. Kevin?
Yep.
You know what I was thinking about recently?
Mitt Romney?
Well, I mean, I'm always thinking about Mitt Romney. Kevin, do you think that Trump will get primaried?
No.
I mean, it's too early to tell. I think that if the next 2 years go well, no.
Because there hasn't been a serious primary of a sitting candidate in a long time, in decades. I wonder
too. I doubt it.
It is very hard to win a primary against an incumbent, and it is very hard for, even if that person got through, to win then. Because you have such a fractured base.
We'll see what happens as the T-Rex continues to test the electronic fence. You know what I mean? Like right now, there's all these stories coming out as how they're quote-unquote changing tactics. I feel like they'll pivot enough to the point where people will just forget this, like the last couple weeks happened. Because we all have, let's be honest, incredibly short memories for all this shit. So we'll see.
True. Very true.
It's unfortunate, but that's just the case. That's the way it goes. Something big will happen next week. No one will talk about the ban on immigration anymore, even though a federal judge just, I guess, overturned it. We'll see. We'll see if that sticks.
I think that will stick. I mean, people are seeming to be really confused. Like, there is an unconstitutionality to this particular order based on the way it treated people that do belong in the country.
Yeah, people
are saying like, well, foreigners don't have constitutional rights. And I'm like, I'm not saying that, but there is an unconstitutional element to the way that it was rolled out. But I don't think the term Muslim ban is really an accurate term. You know, like Indonesia is not on the list. There's 250 million Muslims there. India is on the list. There's like 150 million Muslims. None of the major Muslim majority countries are actually on the list. So I don't like that. I don't think that particular term is accurate for the sake of fairness.
No, but
it is still immoral, and that's a major thing for me.
The problem is the way the law was written and enacted opened them up for that criticism. That's the problem.
It was very amateur.
The problem is he's not thinking about any of this shit. Dog, you can't just sign this shit that people put in front of you. Take it from me. That's how Kevin owns part of the company. I'm just like, whatever you want. I thought it was a lunch order. It's not. It's not. It was a sale of stock, unfortunately. That's it for tips. We're calling tips.
No more tips.
No more tips. Colin, do we want to go into the giveaway section?
Yeah, let's give something away.
Let's give something away. Kevin, can you bring up the trailer for what we're giving away, please?
Yep. Give me a second.
Sorry, I got to log back in all my shit. My computer at a certain point just says no. It just says no. All the programs open, all the tabs open. It just taxes it all.
I like to tax that. Just stop doing that.
I like to tax it, Colin.
Do that less.
Do what you gotta do. I say do what
I
you
want
to
do, guy.
All right, the trailer's going. So
thank you, Kevin. You're very hostile.
No, I don't think so.
He is, right? It's Monday.
I don't think so.
It's because he's hungry.
Oh, I am hungry.
I'm hungry too. I'm a little bitchy right now because I'm hungry. I'm not gonna lie.
Shit.
Today we are giving away I Am Bread on Xbox One. Here's a trailer for it. You see it right here? Arguably, did we play this? We did a Let's Play this, didn't we?
I don't recall ever.
I think we did a Let's Play this a long time ago.
Maybe before my time, but that doesn't make any sense. So maybe you guys just did it without me.
That's possible. Well, there you go. And today the randomizer has chosen someone from Twitch, and that winner is the Sammy Dog. That's dog, D-A-W-G.
Dog.
Congratulations, the Sammy Dog. You've won a code for Xbox One's I Am Bread. Yeah, we did play this. We totally played this.
Yeah, we did a Let's Play.
I don't think so.
I think we did a Let's Play.
We definitely did. I remember doing this.
Silly.
It was before you. It was during the simpler, better times, Kevin.
There was
Before
no Let's Plays before me. So that
is that true?
Quite a few Let's Plays before you.
I think we did one every day for like months and months.
We did a Let's Play series for a long time.
I don't think so.
I think we did one a day.
Like 5 in a row.
We used to record them in an afternoon, like Nick was saying.
I don't think so.
That was before you were part of this company.
Who would be editing them?
When we founded the company without you,
that was
what ended up happening.
That was the 2 months
we let the people who know how to edit
you guys
them.
starting the company and hiring me on board legally.
I'll bet you lunch today, there's an I Am Bread Let's Play somewhere on one of our channels.
Nick.
Kevin, it might have been the time between when we founded the company and started it without you to when we hired you as our first employee. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh God, I'm dying. This is it, guys. I love her.
Look at that, Kevin. Type in I Am Bread, Kind of Funny Games. Kevin is a stupid head. And the very first video that comes up. Let's play I Am Bread. Free play Fridays. Tim really liked alliteration back in the day. Remember that? He's like, we gotta call it like Free Play Fridays,
That's not
Throwback
an alliteration,
Thursdays.
though.
What's that?
I don't think. Does it count as an alliteration if you've got a fucking random word in the middle?
I don't know. I don't know grammar. What's next? Are we done? Should we talk? Let's play some clips.
I sent that email to that kid.
Thank you. Jesus, Kevin.
I'm also dying.
Yeah, I know. Stop living your life like you live your life. Kev Dog, check your email. Or check your messages on Twitch, rather. And that is all. Kevin, do we want to bring up some of these clips? Are these funny clips?
I mean, I don't know how funny are they.
Now let's watch them.
They're just clips.
I have a low threshold for clips right now, so these aren't fun clips. We're cutting them off very quickly because I did not sleep last night. Not because I had a bad night, but because I started playing Hitman. Okay, Kevin, give us the first one.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Stop staying up so late.
Are you ready?
Give it to me.
We've got a new hand gesture from the Shadow Chancellor. Yes. I would have gone. What
the hell is happening?
Today's briefing in the papers, the hand gesture for the Shadow Chancellor should be bye-bye.
Is this for real? They really do this shit?
To know when you're sitting next to a turkey.
Damn!
Wait, can you rewind it? I missed the punch. Go back.
To know when you're sitting
back more.
next to a
More.
You don't need it to be Christmas to know when you're sitting next to a turkey.
Parliament fucking rules, dude. I watch Parliament way more than I like to admit.
This needs to be a show just called Parliament, where they just talk shit to each other.
Once every 7 to 10 days, I literally just look up British Parliament clips on YouTube and watch them for hours.
So good.
They
That's
really,
so good.
Congress is way more, what's the word, like genial? Yeah, not professional, because they're fucking morons. These people really seem to get more done. But when I say that about people, then British people are like, no, they suck.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's way more fun.
Yeah. At least it's not boring, Mr. Speaker of the House.
I like this too. Like when they're talking about the prime minister.
Boring.
When they're talking about the prime minister, I like how the prime minister sits back down and then and like puts his paper down and talks to them. Why do they always have a binder? They're not reading out of it. You ever notice that?
It gives your hand something to do. You know what I mean? That's why I have this coffee cup.
And
There's nothing in here.
their speaker is awesome. Prime Minister. Like Jesus Christ.
Parliament, man. That's awesome. All right, Kevin, bring up the next clip, please. Let's watch this. What is this? It's the fact that the faces are moving that really kind of sells us right. There you go.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. Next one.
Don't do this! No! Shake!
Oh, can we watch that again, please?
I love the announcers. They're the best.
I'm just gonna start it over.
That was amazing.
Somebody check on it! Somebody check on Shane!
It's cute.
No! Shane!
Oh, it's so good.
Down!
Oh, thank you for that.
Call the ambulance.
God bless the fun clip section. Kevin, do we have two more? We have two more. Is this another clip from Parliament?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
What I will say is this. An address by a foreign leader to both houses of Parliament is not an automatic right. It is an earned honour. That before the imposition of the migrant ban, I would myself have been strongly opposed to an address by President Trump in Westminster Hall. After the imposition of the migrant ban by President Trump, I am even more strongly opposed to an address by President Trump.
I'm trying to figure out where the Thug Life part's gonna play on this.
I don't think this is a Thug Life one.
Invitation to President Trump.
Someone comes and punches him in the face.
Oh, no, don't do it!
And I conclude by saying to the honourable gentleman this.
All right.
We
All
value
right, kill this. Not a guys.
They didn't
Let's-
pretend,
Newsflash, by the way, he's going to speak to Parliament.
Yeah.
They didn't pretend it was a fun clip.
Guys, fun clips. It's in the fucking name of the segment, okay? Fun clips.
Colin and Greg Live presents Fun Clips.
With a Z. Do you understand that? You give me a guy who speaks 3 times slower than any human being could. It's actually hard to speak that slowly. You have to fucking try. You gotta practice speaking that slowly. Can you imagine him in bed? Like, Jesus Christ. It's 45 minutes. You haven't even breached me yet. Next clip. Give it to me.
Hey, sorry I missed your call. I was just calling you back to let you know that I love you and I miss you.
That's...
I really
keeps going?
want you to call me back. And I'm sorry I missed your phone call, and that I know you're done. So when you get this, can you call me back? I love you, and I miss
This
you.
is fucked up. All right. Well, it's not, you know, it's a little twisted.
somber.
Little twisted that we're laughing at someone's pain, or their clear pain, but they do laugh, cry like a supercar there. And that's it for the fun clips section. Remember, if you guys have fun clips, you can leave them in the tips. You can tweet at me, Nick_Scarpino. Follow me on Twitter. Tweet at me. Fun clips. With either an S or a Z, but I prefer the Z because that's the proper English spelling. And that's all she wrote. Colin, should we talk to some of the subs now?
I don't really feel like
Now
it.
you want to do it?
Let's do 3 and 3, Kevin.
3 and 3.
The classic 3 and 3.
The new Kind of Funny Morning Show tradition, the 3 and 3.
Colin and Greg Live.
They call it the old skadooch.
If you have any questions, comments, and concerns, we'll talk to you in the chat for a little while, and then we're going to get going.
Yeah.
I have much work to do today. I'm sure Nick and Kevin do as well.
We do indeed.
I also must tend to Lola.
How's Lola doing these days?
So she's well. She's
My
hanging in.
favorite thing was there was a text thread going around last night between us and the boys in Australia, and they were tweeting us pictures of them standing in front of that. What is that? Is it a museum?
It's the Opera House.
The Opera House. You know, Greg had a pint of what I can only assume was Foster's. You know, on a sunny
Foster's.
day. Tim was, I guess, sunburned. I don't know. And then you liked to chime in with that, with a picture of Lola sleeping on your lap, and it made me happy.
She was right there, right on my
It
lap.
made me happy.
She stays real close. Erin always makes fun of me, and will really makes fun of her because she always has to be touching me. Like, she always just has a paw on me.
Yeah. She just wants to make sure that I go to her.
Erin's always like, why are you so obsessed with Colin? And I'm like, well, why is everyone so obsessed with Colin?
That is the question du jour.
All right, let's get in it.
Am I right?
Let's see.
I'll take one. Kristen
Yeah, please
Hawk
do.
52 says, Colin and Nick, did you hear what Alex Jones had to say on Joe Rogan? He's referring to Joe Rogan's podcast.
Oh yeah, I heard Alex Jones is on Joe Rogan. Did you listen to that?
I've not listened to that yet.
That should be fucking
That's my
weird.
special. I'm going to drive home and listen to that.
Alex Jones is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they're friends. They've talked before, though.
I really like
Alex Jones is the big conspiracy nut, right?
Yeah, InfoWars. Alex Jones is a nut job. I mean, like, just straight up a crazy person. He has every right to be a crazy person, of course, but he is, let's just call him a strange man. Although I saw when he was at, God, it was probably the Republican convention or the Democratic convention, he, like, stormed on the Young Turks set. Did you
Really?
see that? Like, you
No.
guys should look that up. It was really weird. Like, really awkward.
Yeah,
He's an awkward dude. I don't know.
Other than Joe Rogan's impression of him, this will be my first. This will be my first experience listening to talk, and it's great because I believe Eddie Bravo is also on that podcast. And Eddie Bravo, for those of you who don't know, aside from being one of the most amazing jiu-jitsu practitioners, is also a huge conspiracy nut. So that'll be really, really fun to listen to. I think definitely go check that out.
I have no problem with conspiracy theories. Some of them are interesting, and there's one or two I believe in.
Moon
Specifically,
landing.
no, the moon landing one's dumb. JFK assassination, I think, is obviously the biggest one. That's clearly not as it went down.
Natch.
Why do I think that? Well, there are multiple reasons. First of all, you would find a patsy similar to Oswald. Oswald spent 5 years in Russia. He was a communist, basically. He was a weirdo, so of course you would pin it on him. The murder of Jack Ruby was really Jack Ruby's murder of Oswald was really the red herring, though. Why would you kill him? What was he going to say?
What was he going to do? Was he going to break? What did he know?
I also think there was a second shooter.
Definitely. Definitely. I tried going back and watching JFK, the movie by Oliver Stone. Couldn't do it for some reason. I remember loving that film back in the day, but I just could not get into the beginning of it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
And who was responsible for it? I think the mob. Maybe with LBJ. I think the JFK assassination is a very deep conspiracy. What do you think about that, Kevin? I'm curious about that. Oh, Jesus Christ! Never mind.
Oh, there it is. That's what it is right there.
Let's see. Mr. Bolton says, "Who's the left's equivalent of Alex Jones?" That's a good question. The Daily Coast guys probably are pretty crazy like that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that I don't know. Alex Jones might be a uniquely right-wing kind of phenomenon.
I'm interested to listen to this. The Dead Man 97 says, Nick, favorite trailer from the Super Bowl. I gotta be honest, I wasn't actually watching the commercials because I was watching the Super Bowl with my wife, and she was talking about some upcoming travel plans that she wants to put together for us. So I didn't actually get to pay attention to what was going on between the game or to the game itself. But I will say this. Out of the commercials that I saw, I was very disappointed with this year's offering. I didn't see anything that was... There was that really, really macabre Spuds McKenzie commercial. Did you see that? It was like 1.5 minutes long. And it was the Christmas Carol style Spuds McKenzie, where he was a ghost the entire time. You're like... Jesus Christ! I feel like fucking twisted.
Well, you and I were talking about it last week, where we were saying that the zeitgeist around the Super Bowl with commercials is just not there anymore.
It's done.
Not only because the commercials aren't very good anymore, and they're not, but because the internet ruined it.
They really do.
We get funny videos every day. And I know that sounds like a weird thing, but that's actually the reason. Like, we get funny things every day. We used to culminate around like all the clever marketing and the clever
and then you go the next day and try to find them on the internet. And now the shit's we're saturated. Plus, I really do feel like everyone's trying to be funny now. And so even the ones that are very clever, which do still stand out to some degree, the bar has just been lowered. It's tainted. No more Super Bowls. We're canceling Super Bowl next year.
The Super Bowl, no more Super
Bowl. Just like my mom
Bowl.
cancels Christmas almost every other year.
Let's get into sub-only mode. If one of the mods can put us in the sub-only mode,
let me try. I think I could do subs.
In the meantime.
Subs modes. You know, if you spell everything with a Z, Kevin, it works.
At this point, you could just learn what the command is. It would be easy.
Your subscriber onlys, does that work? That does work?
No.
Engage sub mode. Says X Chronos 815. Thank you for that in the comments, in the chat. Stop calling them fucking comments. People call me old man Nick when I call them comments.
You got served, which is another one of the great names. I love that name. Says Colin, I finally took your advice. I stopped feeling guilty for not completing some games. There are just too many games coming out and not enough time. Thanks for the advice. Way less stress. Glad to hear that. This orthodoxy to finishing everything you play and that you have nothing to say about a game if you didn't beat it all the way and you didn't get all the trophies, like, that's fucking lame. No one, I can't imagine how anyone has the time to live their lives like that. But to each to their own. When I don't want to play a game anymore, I move on. Not really trying to prove anything to anyone. That said, beat games you like, don't beat games you don't. Time is precious. Time is also money.
It is. It very much is. More money than
and
that.
time is other things as well, Kevin.
The Ice 27 says, Nick, please tell me you were playing Hitman proper, not Hitman Go. First of all, Kevin is rolling over his grave right now. He loves the Hitman. He loves the Go series. Nothing wrong with Hitman Go. Nothing wrong with Hitman Go. But I am playing Hitman proper. I'm playing through Season 1 right now, and it's really fun. If you guys haven't played, it's a blast. Similar to your experience with Neo, I was playing Hitman last night, and I have to remember how to play these games because it's been so long since I've played Hitman. It's probably been about 5, maybe 6 years since I've actually sat down with a Hitman game and tried to play through one of the levels. First off, the game's stunning. Second off, The design of it is really, really fun. You guys should definitely check it out. The music is beautiful. Special shout out to that. You feel like you're like a secret agent creeping around. But what you can't do, and what I inevitably spend the first 4 hours, similar to my Deus Ex Let's Play, doing, is I try to shoot my way through everything the first time. You can do it in Deus Ex if you know what you're doing. You can't do it in Hitman. You got about 2 shots before you get taken down every single time. So after the first 4 hours of me trying to sneak through the Paris level, trying to do that, I eventually figured out how to play the game, and it is a blast. Definitely check it out.
Yeah, it is. And as I said, Erin's a huge fan of the game too, which she's starting to play games. She fucking loves that game. It's really good for the meticulous mind.
It is.
Final question comes from Adam Northwest, who says, Colin, how much time did you actually put into the Souls games? Well, Demon Souls I played for maybe 5, and these are predictions, I don't know, it's been a long time. Demon Souls maybe 5 hours. Dark Souls I played twice. I want to say the first time for less than 5 hours, the second time for more than 5 hours. And I restarted it a couple times during that second time too to try different builds and whatnot. Just didn't really care for it. I never played Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3. Bloodborne, I want to say I played for 10 to 12 hours, probably more than that. And then Neo, it was not really technically a Souls game. Although, as I said on PS I Love You, one of the great interesting things about Neo that seemed to have just happened without anyone really knowing about it is that Sony acquired that game and published it themselves. Which happened in the last 2 months or so. We reached out to Tecmo Koei for codes, and they're like, we don't publish this game anymore. And they're like, when did that happen? Like, how did that? That got past the goalie, as it were.
It did.
All right.
It did indeed. Is that it?
Let's get out of sub-only mode. Before we go, I'm going to read subs or resubs. If I read your name, you are a new sub or a resub, and we appreciate you and your patronage here on twitch.tv/KindaFunnyGames very much indeed. Forget Corey says, you stay classy, San Diego. I'm Ron Burgundy with a question mark. I don't know why it's a question. Datnade012, Inferno Master, another one bites the dust. He says, Gazian says, greetings and salutations for 26 months. Love you, Colin. Thank you very much. Tuckley Jones, Chudabot, Hardcore Chore. JNetsJ says, 2 years of supporting you crazy guys. Mechanism says, killing it with Colin was right. Thank you so much. Dagger Brogalok. I don't know what the hell that is. Says, shut up and take my money. Will do. Crook Duggan, Fun National Podcast. Tadawaka says, Colin, I'm just curious how much renting the ice rink costs in your hometown. Here in New Brunswick, Canada, we can pay for $150 an hour at some rinks. It depends. It was way more than that. We were talking about $400 or $500 an hour. The Deadman97 says, been watching Kinda Funny Live 2 today, loving, hoping there's a Kinda Funny Live. Hope to be there for Kinda Funny Live 3, I'm sorry. Also, shout out to Tim for this great edit of the show. Tim did a really nice job at editing it. Cab PQ, Big Magic 11, Doc Online, Cynically Silent, Grinning Grinch says, love you guys, hail Colin, fuck the haters. Thank you very much. Pig Nyap says, go get him, Big Col, will do. La Bubblegum says, scraw. Energy Blast, Wolf Fox 10JC says, nice fatality, LO, thank you. Connotative, Lone Gamer Phil says, keep being you, Colin. Everyone should have their own opinions, pure and simple. Agreed. Full Eclipse. One Joe 2K, Snowbike Mike.
Snowbike Mike!
The Ben Como says, 2 years of love, which coincide with me receiving your package for Extra Life. Thank you for everything. Let's keep fucking those chickens for the big, beautiful kids. We will.
Yes.
JZ Taco 12s, Christian S. Twitch, Tyson Rhino says, 10 months, what am I doing in my life? I ask myself that question literally every day.
Yep.
The Jihad Spot, it's an interesting name. Classic Tan, number 93. Alpha Red 80, Septura says, Dave 150 inside Vita Island Prison. I have a man on the inside delivering this messages. By the time you'll read this, I will have escaped.
We'll see about that. We'll see what Lola thinks about that.
Mr. Yasman 300 says, it's my 2-month anniversary, Nick. Did you see Shyamalan's tweet about his next project might be a sequel to Split?
No, I did not see that, but that is not surprising given how Split kind of panned out.
Storm X Crow, yeah, it's so huge, right? Storm X Crow, Church Boy Gamer. It seems like he's back. Like he's come back. He had a lot, everything with The Happening and, right? That was what it was called?
That was fun.
And then a few after that.
He did
And then suddenly with the last one about the kids in the house.
He did okay with the village.
Visit.
The visit ended up putting him, I think getting him back into the, and I guess Split's, I mean, it was okay. It was an okay movie. I liked it.
I'm happy for him because I really, I know people really love The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable. I think Signs and the Village are fucking awesome movies.
Can I ruin how Split ends for you?
No.
Okay.
Please don't.
Can I try?
And not for everyone else.
Are you gonna watch it?
I'd like to. I've seen every Shyamalan movie. Except for the last two because I felt except for the last two because I thought he just fell into oblivion.
Devil?
I haven't seen The Visit yet.
Devil, yes.
Elevator one?
Oh, I liked that one.
Did you?
Yeah, it was fun. It was cool. What a cool, like, what, like,
Remember
if you
one
can
about a
keep
girl
my
in a pool?
attention with three
Yeah,
people
it's
standing in
Lady
a fucking elevator.
Lady in the Lake?
Lady in the Lake.
I think that's what it's called.
I saw that one.
Lady in the Water, maybe.
Lady in the Water?
Yeah.
I don't know what
I
that
didn't
was.
like that one.
Storm X Crow, Church Boy Gamer, Moonman says, Colin, haters gonna hate us New Yorkers are above all that noise. P.S. Any update on Chasm or Cosmic Star? Love you. I have no on-the-record updates about Chasm. Cosmic Star, I have not heard anything about. I don't have direct contact with those guys. Rob16 says, love your content. It's great. Love from Norway. Corporal McMuffin, which is another great name. Android is a loser. Severine says, love you guys, Colin. Keep fighting for what you believe in. I will. Peanut0423 says, 26 months, baby. Colin, I mean this in the best way possible. You're the Kanye of the games industry. Accept Yeezus into your heart. Keep being awesome, guys. Peanut, stop. You gotta stop.
Easy.
Roy Roger McFreely. SPQR85. JT Max 6 says, Colin, what's the better sport, hockey or football? Hockey is the better sport. NFL is the better league. The only Scott ever. Lax goalie 83. That's lacrosse. Is Tari, Dante, Disco Inferno says, Colin, if you ever any watch Hitchens on Free Speech, I've seen almost everything Hitchens has said. RIP. Idling, 5 months, go Cubs. Trinidad Moreno and M. Beezum. That's it. All right.
That's all.
Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at Kinda Funny Vids. I'm at No Taxation. Nick is at Nick _ Scarpino. Kevin is at Kinda Funny Kevin.
One more sub just literally came in as you were saying that.
Oh, the Impartialist says, thanks for being a continuous inspiration, guys. You inspired me to create my own podcast, Twitch, and YouTube channel, and I don't think I ever would give it a show if it wasn't for you guys inspiring me every day. It's early days, but it's very rewarding. Glad to hear it. And NegNog28 also subscribed. We'll be back for Colin and Greg Live tomorrow right here on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. Cut the feed.